Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly tarot reading with me, Raphael.rey from Reydiant Reality, the month of August 2018. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So before we start, I would like to say thank you so much for all of your continued support. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, thumbs up. It means the absolute world. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you are already a subscriber, please don't forget to hit the notification button so that you get notified whenever I post all of my new stuff, and there'll be a lot more content coming, and hopefully a lot more frequently as of now. So also worth mentioning, if you haven't checked out your key to the eclipses video, please check it out. I really believe you'll get something from it. Also, although we've already had one of the eclipses, I also talk about the other two that are still yet to come. And there is another video up, another one, there's so much of it I know at the moment, called Retrograde, a mini-series, the first part of a three-part mini-series of installments is posted already, so also check that out. So before we start, I would like to bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your actions and your interactions with the world at large in the month of August 2018. So you've got the Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords is actually a card that I love a lot. You know, it's not a fast card, it's not a big brash card, but it is a card of really deep intuition. It's a card of really trusting your emotions and trusting the intuitive and often even psychic energy that comes or surrounds us when this card shows up in our lives. So this card actually falls in your actions and your interaction sector. There's a bee who's just flown in. Hello. Interesting, because bees represent family, and they also represent you know, the beehive. They represent abundance. They represent I will let you out in just a moment unless you want to find your own way out. Preserve the bees. I'm really big into that, you know, leave bits of sugared water out for them if you can. Anyway, I digress, but the fact that a bee's just shown up and this card has, what does your intuition tell you when it comes to your family or your tribe? What does your intuition tell you when it comes to finances or money or abundance? You know, think about those things, because you know, bees as well, royalty, the royal jelly, the honey, the you know, the goods, the sweets in life. This kind of tells me that in terms of your intuition, what do you feel is going to guide you towards the best that you can have in your life? Ultimately, bees produce, you know, substances that are either really beneficial to humans or really tasty. So yeah, you know, as a little side note there. Your actions and your interactions is what you do. It's the choices that you make. It's the steps that you take or that you walk on your path. And you know, it's also your enterprises. You know, enterprises can be anything from business and, you know, and commerce and all of those things. The Two of Swords is asking you really to tap into that energy. You know, what is the best step forward for you now? You need to trust yourself. You need to trust that you can make the best decisions for your own life. You need to trust that you are actually connected to Source. And in that connection to Source, if you can truly find yourself in a space of listening to it, you will find the best and brightest for yourself. Really, really awesome message. Okay. So your money and your materials this month. Your money and your materials, you get the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man represents it's about having patience. It's a very spiritual card. It's you know, it's ruled by the sign of Pisces. You know, ruled by the planet Neptune actually. And when you see the Hanged Man, I always say to people, sometimes the best way to get what you want is to allow it to flow through you and also flow to you. And also, you know, if you're trusting your intuition, you need to trust that you will arrive at the right space at the right time for yourself, that you will find yourself connected and aligned enough to Source through your feeling and therefore through your actions. And you know, that enables you to arrive at the right time in the right place. So your money and your materials, wealth, abundance, prosperity, you know, your home, your health, all of these things are asking you to really take some time to observe them, because the Hanged Man is about acceptance. You know, it's about accepting what you have already. It's about, you know, really getting to know what you have already, what you are experiencing already. And through that acceptance, you then gain understanding. From the understanding comes wisdom. Once you have wisdom and you then start to apply that wisdom, it then becomes enlightenment. You arrive at it. Enlightenment is not something that just happens to you. It's a process that you undergo. And those are the 4 steps to it. Acceptance, understanding, wisdom, and enlightenment. So your money and your materials this month are really asking for your care, your nurture, your nourishment, but they're asking for your acceptance. You know, and this is one of the other things as well, the message that's coming in, especially with the bee there, you know, it's about accepting wealth and abundance. It's not enough just to have the thoughts and the feelings and make the steps of, oh, you know, I want to be wealthy, or I would like a new job, or I would like a different house, or whatever. You need to be open to that. You need to be accepting of that. It's all well and good putting that manifesting energy out there, but are you truly open enough to actually receive what you want? And for some people, that's really difficult. You know, it's like you ask for something, and then when it shows up, they're like, you know. I myself too, you know, I'm not a Sagittarian. I love you guys to bits, you know that. But I have had that experience as well, you know, where I've asked for things or I've called for things, and then when it starts to happen or take off, I'm like, oh, because, you know, I wasn't actually in the space that, you know, I've asked for it, but then when it shows up, I wasn't totally ready for it because I wasn't open to receiving it. I wasn't in the space of accepting what it is that I asked for. So put yourself in that space and trust yourself and your intuition enough to guide you to the space that you need to be in order to receive the blessings that you're asking for. I hear you, little bee. I will let you out. Sorry, I need to open the window to let that out because he looks like he's struggling. Okay. Sorry about that. Everyone's going to be like, what the hell just happened? Okay, so your communications this month. You have the Page of Swords. So this month, I want you to be careful about what you say and how you say it. We will have a Mercury retrograde happening in the sign of Leo, so it's trying in your own sign. Again, check out the retrogradia video because it will give you some information and some understanding about the Mercury retrograde that I can't really go into in this video. When you see the Page of Swords, it usually sees people using their intellect as a weapon. It usually sees people using their words as weapons. And so that's why I say to you this month, be really conscious, you know, use your mind, use your words, use your speech, absolutely, but use them in a positive way. Don't just bandy them about or use them as a weapon. You know, use them as a tool so that you can really start to create an understanding of yourself and with other people. So your communications this month are asking you, not that you would anyway, but don't talk crap. You know, don't trash talk people. Nobody needs that, and it's not the highest expression of who a Sagittarius is. You guys are ruled by Jupiter. You know, yours is the 9th house. It's the house that you ascribe to meaning and to, you know, to true blessings and understanding and wisdom. You know, and you know, it's what you ascribe meaning to. And trash talking anybody is such a small. Although you guys can really go to town, you know, on people when you're ready, it's such a small way of doing what you could truly do. You know, you can show other people enlightenment if you lead them to it. And who better than a Sagittarius to show us something meaningful in life, and more importantly, to communicate that to others. If somebody else is doing this to you, accept the space that that person may well be in and move beyond it. And use the sword, the intellect or whatever to shut them down. Don't engage in that trash talk or that bandy of words of, oh well, you know, oh, you shoot me down, I'm going to shoot you down. Just cut it as it is and remove it. You know, you could do that. You could do that so well this month. It could see you really stamping out any gossip or anything that's happened around you or to you. This could be the month you really shut that stuff down and do it with style and finesse, if you choose to use your communication the way that it's supposed to be used. And then finally, your heart and your half. So this is your emotional ties, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It can be your family ties, your friendship ties. It's the emotional connections that you have. You get the 7 of Cups. So interesting. So one of the taglines that I always associate to this card is, because it can represent, it's very Neptunian card actually. It's interesting that you get that opposite the Hanged Man, the Neptunian, you know, card. When I see this card, I always say to people, because it can be about self-illusory tendencies. It can also be, and he's back. Yeah, it can be about self-illusory tendencies, but it can also be about spreading yourself too thin, focusing on too many things. And this is why I say, you know, especially if there's lots of this, you know, communication that's unhealthy happening this month, stamp it out. For those of you that are partnered already, I would like you to think about streamlining the amount of commitments that you and your partner have to other people or other causes. This is a month to try and rein in that energy so that you can focus more on each other as opposed to everything or everyone else. Also, for those of you that are single, I would say this is probably not the month for you to look into relationships or, you know, settling down with somebody. If you are in that space and it truly is, you know, heartfelt and everything is out and open, absolutely go for it. But with, you know, the Neptune and the Pisces there, and then the, you know, this also reflecting that kind of energy, just be sure you're getting the full story or the full picture of who somebody actually is and all of the commitments that they already have. That's why I say this is not the month to make anything official in terms of a relationship if you're single, because you might find out throughout the month that actually that niggling sort of thought or doubt about that person's ability to commit may well be, you know, that's your intuition speaking up. And the reason it's speaking up is because this person might have more commitments than they are able to, you know, and therefore they'll have more to do than the energy that they can just donate to. What am I trying to say? You know, this person might have more commitments that you don't know about, and, you know, they could be revealed for you over the period of this month. And if that happens, you could find yourself being sort of, if not, you know, upset or maybe a little even surprised by it. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, think about, you know, what somebody is able to provide in terms of their energy and their input if you're single. You know, listen to your intuition because it will guide you the right way. If you are in a partnership, it's asking you to make time more for yourself and your partner and to reduce the commitments that you have together so that you can bring your focus more in and onto the relationship. For your money and your materials and your intuition, your actions and interactions, again, it's asking you to trust yourself, but asking you to align yourself so that you will find yourself in the space and the place that you would rather be as opposed to the place that you are now. It's about following the line of destiny. You know, some things we co-create and some things we consciously create. But in order to do so, we really need to be in touch with who we are and what it is that we truly feel. Because when you're aligned with what you truly feel, then you can start to really attach yourself to the way things are meant to flow. Your money and your materials and your communications are asking you to, you know, anything that comes to you, accept where somebody else is. Just think about that, you know, okay, you are there, you're having the experience that you're having for a reason. And then, you know, if, like I said, don't engage in any of the trash talk. Shut these people down. This person, don't engage with, you know, in it with them, and don't use your words as weapons. It's not a high expression for somebody that is a Sagittarian. And then finally, your key to the month, the Magician. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful card, because this says that if you can really truly align yourself, you know, you can communicate what you're intuiting, and you can, you know, because the Magician card is ruled by Mercury. So again, this communication and master communication, this sees you really stepping into a place of personal power by really being able to own your thoughts, own your feelings and align yourself to the highest destiny and the highest expression of all that you are. And in order to do so, in order to really manifest anything, you need to be in alignment. And if you can find yourself in that alignment, what you can create and do, and more importantly, how you can help others, ultimately takes a massive quantum leap forward. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can do so on the link below. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can do so on the link below. Please also check me out on Instagram, there's lots more to come. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing month and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care.